Alright, hello again. Welcome to Chef Chat. Chef James here. This week we're going to talk about knives because the holidays will be coming up soon, not too soon, but soon enough. And a lot of people like to buy knife sets, knives and stuff either for themselves or their family members. So I'm going to go over some knives that I think are essential in your knife collection. So a lot of people like to go out and they like to buy those big Henkel's knife sets with the blocks. It's got like 8, 9 knives in there. You really don't need those knives. You pay a lot for that set of knives, and you're going to find that you're probably only going to use 2 or 3 of the knives that are in that set, and the other ones are just going to sit there and collect dust. So, that said, we're going to move on to knives. Now, we're going to move on to the first knife that you should purchase, and that is going to be your utility knife or your chef's knives. You have 2 choices for that. One would be a 6 to an 8-inch chef's knife, or a 6 to an 8-inch Santoku knife. Now, if you see these are different here, this one has a rounded tip, straight tip, this one has a straight edge, and this one is more curved. This one also has these little dimples or divots in the blade, and that helps to keep the food from sticking to the knife as you're cutting. Because if anybody knows, when you're cutting like potatoes, the potatoes get stuck to your knife and you have to like pull them off. It's not going to happen with this. It creates a little air pocket between the knife and the food just slides off. So, Santoku or a chef's knife, 6 to 8 inches. These are probably going to run you, if you get a Henkel's, probably anywhere from $40 to $80 for the high ends, and these are probably the same. This right here is a Wusthof, and this chef's knife, I know it looks kind of odd to you guys, this is called a Mac, M-A-C, Mac knife. It's made in Japan. It's got these little holes here for hanging the knives to dry and stuff. This is a really nice knife. It's lightweight, the blade is thin, it stays sharp really nicely. So there's your utility knife, that's your chef's knife. Second most important knife I think is going to be a paring knife. Now the paring knife is one that you probably don't have to spend that much money on. You can probably get $10 to high-end $40 paring knife. These are anywhere from 2 to 3 inches, and I mean these are useful for anything because they're easily held in your hand and you can peel whatever, cut the stems off of strawberries, that kind of stuff. So a paring knife is a really essential knife to have. Moving down the line, bread knife. Everybody needs a bread knife. I see a lot of people trying to cut bread with these knives and they push it down in there and all you're doing is smashing the knife. Bread knives are really good. This one is probably about 8 or 9 inches. You can get them up to 12 inches. Just make sure they have a nice serrated edge on it. And if you buy a good bread knife, it's probably going to last you a lifetime because these things don't get dull very easily. In the kitchen here, they do. Probably about every 3 years I have to buy a new one, but I'm cutting bread every day. You guys, you're probably not cutting bread every day, so it's probably going to last you a while. Let's see here. This is a slicing knife, and these range anywhere from 10 to 12 inches. It's got a thinner blade. It's really sharp, and it gets you in there so you can carve your ham or your roast beef or what have you. A lot of times these will come with forks, and you can purchase them like that. I kind of stay away from telling people to buy the forks and the knives because if you're not skilled, you're going to be slicing into the meat and constantly hitting the knife onto your fork, and then that messes up your blade, and we don't want to do that. So just kind of use your fingers or whatever. One final knife is a boning knife. Now, if a lot of people might not do this, but if you work a lot with meats, some people may, cutting up chickens, cutting up other larger pieces of meat, this is a good knife to use. It's got a tiny thin point, thin blade. It's flexible, so you can get down in there around bones and cartilage and stuff. And these are very good. So price on bread knives anywhere from $10 to $30. These probably around $30 to $60. And slicers are probably going to be your most expensive one because they're the largest knives. Anywhere from $50 to $100. The final piece to your knife collection will be a honing steel. This is a diamond plate honing steel. They also have ones that are stainless steel that have ridges in them. These are meant to hone your knife, not to sharpen your knife. Sharpening knives are done on stones with oil or mineral oil or water. This is meant to hone the knife. Your knife blade, if you look like this, the microscopic view of your knife blade is a bunch of little jagged edges like this, and as you use your knife they get bent over like this and your knife gets dull. So what this honing steel does is it straightens those guys back out, puts a nice new clean edge on your knife, and makes it easier for slicing. This knife was a gift from my friends. This is one knife that you probably don't need. This knife has been used by me probably 3 times in 8 years. You don't need to buy one of these guys unless you're out there in the wild and you're hacking through bones on elephants and stuff like that. Not that you would do that, but this is probably a knife that you wouldn't need. So to recap, we need a chef's knife, a paring knife, a bread knife, a slicer, and a boning knife. So you could probably get by with these 3 knives, probably essential for the kitchen. Other than that, you're probably not going to use much else. All right, so I hope that that helps you out, guys, in your knife selection and maybe some holiday ideas. Until next time, thank you.